There are a lot of myths being spread around Saskatoon, and they're going to cost taxpayers a heck of a lot of money. Myth number 5. Online polls can be trusted to give useful information. Well, bad data tends to lead to bad public policy, and the internet makes it way too easy to collect bad data, such as the city's own online recycling poll. Without going into all the reasons why this online poll is not valid, some people just have a short memory. Then Premier Calvert ran into some problems with one of his polls that went so horribly wrong. Small dead animals doesn't speak for the people of Saskatchewan. Well, apparently they did. 3214, 3214. If Saskatoon residents, and we know that they're Saskatoon residents because they'd say so, yes, in question 1, if they started to answer the question 9 with option 3 as the most preferred and option 4 as the least preferred, would certain people still be as enamored with the online result? Dogs and small dead animals know what to do with polls. The poll is available from the Saskatoon.ca website, Let's Talk Recycling logo, or directly from SurveyMonkey. Myth number 4. Saskatoon will choose one of 4 recycling options. Well, okay, it's not exactly 4 options. It would be one heck of a lot closer to the truth to say that there are 5 options available. Option 4 is really 2 options presented as one. What these options have in common is that someone's going to come to your door whether you want them or not, and you are going to pay for it. The 2 mandatory curbside options have different commitments required by the household, different collection systems, different processing systems, and a different cost structure. The first option 4 is what's known as commingled, where the household puts everything together to be collected in one container, and this one causes an incredible amount of degraded recyclable materials that wind up in the landfill anyway, just at a higher cost. The other mandatory curbside option is called source separated. Households separate their recyclable materials into different containers for pickup. This requires a very high degree of commitment on behalf of every household in the community. If even a small percentage of households in the community cross-contaminate their recyclables by not separating correctly, you wind up with garbage in the recycling stream. The majority of people in Saskatoon say that they want to use the depot system, but the depot system has been split into 3 different options. On the other hand, the 2 different options of the mandatory curbside system has been combined into one. Now, why would the city do that? Myth number 3, waste diversion is about the environment. Well, sometimes it's about the environment. A lot of the time, it's about offloading costs. Once upon a time, the federal government balanced its budget by reducing the amount of money it gave to provinces in areas of provincial responsibility. Well, provinces have budgets to balance too, and waste management is a municipal responsibility. Any materials that head to the landfill, all of those costs are picked up by the city of Saskatoon. If, however, you can divert a material into a provincial recycling program, voila, you've offloaded the costs for those materials back onto the province. Let's take a metric ton of juice boxes. The city says that they would incur a cost of $90 a metric ton to put it into the landfill. However, if that can be diverted to the provincial recycling program, sure, it costs more, $130 a ton, but it's not the city that's paying for it. Colored glass is a neat example. You can't give this stuff away. The provincial program actually has to pay a private company to take it off of their hands. There's just no market for this stuff. The private company doesn't want to use it. It's way cheaper to use gravel in aggregate than it is broken colored glass. So, well, they'll do it if you pay them. Now, the nice thing about this, as far as the municipality is concerned, is that while they're saving $90 a ton in landfill costs, the provincial government is out the $40 a ton that it costs for the private company to take and use the material. Sweet deal. Myth number 2, have you heard this one? Saskatoon doesn't have a curbside recycling program. All the other big cities do, but Saskatoon doesn't. Remember this number, 651-2162. Saskatoon Curbside Recycling, a private company, a couple of entrepreneurs that saw that there was a need for a service, invested, and provide a great service to the public. All you have to do is call the number and pay for it yourself. From the city's own statistically valid telephone survey, at least 75% of Option 4 supporters who want the government to 1. Force everyone to have curbside service, and 2. Have the government pay for it, are not using the available private service which they would have to pay for themselves. The private service is available. Curbside is available. What's not available is forcing everybody to take curbside and having the government pay for it. And here we come to myth number 1. The depot system, especially that in Saskatoon, just doesn't work. The fact is, depot systems do work, and they do work because they fit into the vast majority of the populace's lifestyle. We go places for services, whether it's going to work, going to the hospital, going to pick up food, heading from your house for services. We go to depots. And the depot system in Saskatoon has been based on the very sensible idea of recycling the highest value materials that actually have a market. An undeniably great advantage of the depot system is its cost effectiveness. To recycle paper fiber in Saskatoon has traditionally cost under $10 per ton. Ontario's cost for the same material, $300 per ton. A good majority of people in Saskatoon prefer the depot system and want a continuation of that depot system in some form. As a matter of fact, 20% of them want the depot system expanded through neighborhoods in the city. Only option 4 takes away your choice to decide what's best for you. Up to now, you can choose to use the cost-effective depot system or incur the cost for the convenience of curbside. Option 4 replaces that freedom to choose with the civic government dictating your actions. You will use the curbside, you will pay for the curbside. If you like higher taxes, garbage police, and being told what to do, everything's okay. Do nothing, sleep easy. If, on the other hand, you have better things to do with your own money, well, you might want to talk to your counselor and get involved and choose option 3.